And we are back, and we just finished watching 2008's Twilight, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours and 2 minutes. We caught this on Hulu.
It finally happened.
But it is also to buy rent on Prime Video. This is a long time coming. This is based off Stephanie Meyer's blockbuster series. I want to immediately start with some just horrific and just baffling news. This movie, the budget on this was $37 million, which tracks. I mean, the effects in it are awful, and there's not any kind of big name people in this. So the budget on this estimated was $37 million. The opening weekend in US and Canada in November of 2008, $69 million. The worldwide gross on this baby. Ready? G, you want to take a gander?
Millions of dollars.
Do you want to pick a number?
No.
What about you? You want to give it a guess?
$250 million.
$408 million. $496,327. Is that not... What the hell, America?
Oh, no. Hey, don't blame
that's
America.
Right.
This is the world.
World.
What up, world?
What up, world? What is going on? Ladies, we have to write vampire nonsense.
It's a dark day for humanity.
It really is. It really, really. But this spoke to so many people. The book spoke to so many people, and now the film as well. I mean, we're very behind on this.
You actually
Twilight.
read the book, didn't you?
I got it from Sonia. Yeah, she gave me the first, the second, and I think the last one. I think I read the first one, and then I put all of them in the Goodwill box.
You were kind of horrified.
Yes, I was like, I can't believe this is popular. I mean, I forced myself to finish it, but if I remember right, I don't know if I said this to you, it felt like an 8th grader wrote it.
Yes, I remember you saying that many, many, many times.
And I was just baffled that it was so popular. I mean, I don't know if it was supposed to be reflective of a young high school girl, but I was like, man, I was way smarter than this, and I wasn't saying half this jerky shit in high school.
I mean, I imagine that helped its popularity, the fact that it was written in such an easy and simple way that a lot of people were just picking it up. Like it's like American fiction. I'll pick your book up at the airport, and I'll never pick up your book because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It's what is it? Johnny Walker Red versus Johnny Walker Blue.
Yeah. Ugh. Terrible. Gee, what did you think of this seminal masterpiece in storytelling?
Shit.
You like romances, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
when they're done right.
You read them quite frequently. How does Bella and Edward stack up with
all the greats
that you've
romantic
read about?
Literature?
Was the chemistry just off the wall crazy?
Oh, it was electric.
Yeah.
That was another thing. Like they were so weird and awkward. I mean,
there was zero chemistry. The lack of was just it should have been uncomfortable for them, but it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, there was so much.
I don't know how they were able to perform these roles without just being like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I was Rob Pattinson or Bella's actress. I don't know her name.
Kristen
I'm sorry.
Stewart.
And they were together in real life.
Yes, they were.
What the hell? I mean,
that was like the publicity machine sort of situation
maybe,
as well.
Because that was some...
Or you work with somebody and you're trapped in the situation, so you kind of like empathize with each other. Maybe it was one of those things.
The set must have been like a hostage situation. They bonded over their trauma.
They're all performing at gunpoint. They're like, say the line, but it's so terrible. Say the line.
It sounds like that. Yeah. Like they were performing and there was like, they would be killed if they didn't.
I'm the bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have the
superhero.
power to resist being around you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should all be upfront and say how we Mystery Science Theater 3000 the shit out of this film. I mean, and there was so much cringy dialogue, but I remember the book being just awfully written. Awfully written.
Do you remember some of those lines, or were they?
I don't. I basically blocked it out, to be honest. I remember reading it. I remember forcing myself to read the first book and just being completely baffled at all I kept thinking was, how is this popular? Like, I don't understand.
I don't get it.
I legit reread Persuasion over and over again. And this is a book that was written in the 1800s, and that still slaps. But it was hard to read through. It was just completely mindless crap. And yet this film, this property, this book series, this film series, they have such a loyal fan base. It's pretty, pretty impressive.
I'm shocked they don't have an amusement park yet.
Well, don't you put it out there. I'm sure it's going to happen. Originally G and I were going to talk about this, but I wanted you to watch it too, because I wanted to get the male perspective on the vampire human romance. But let me start with G. G, what did you think of this film?
It was ass.
What was so ass about it?
Everything. There wasn't a single good thing about this movie.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single good thing. There was no chemistry, like you said. The dialogue was bad. The filming was terrible. And there was that scene at the end where like she gets attacked and she's like, the effects or whatever. I don't even know how to explain it. It was literally filmed so horribly.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense that this only cost $37 million, which is a lot of money, but in film world, that's not a lot. That's not a big budget, $37 million.
Yeah, it was an extremely dreary looking movie.
Yeah.
It was about as close as you can get to being a black and white film without it actually being black and white, but black and white films are cool.
Yeah, and they're sharp and crisp. It was like this constant haze and just
it was grainy, muddy. It was muddy.
The focus puller was not doing their job.
There was like weird camera movements. There was I think when he reveals himself to her fully.
Yes,
they're in the woods.
Glowy phase.
Well, no, like right before that, they're in the woods, and for some reason, the camera kept rotating around them.
Yes, that was terrible.
I guess they didn't have like a proper steady cam, or the steady cam was broken or something, so it almost looked like it was a stop motion animation around them.
Yeah,
or
the camera, it wasn't like straight going around them. It was filmed at a really awkward angle too.
Yeah,
there was definitely some production issues, and people were just like, good enough. Good, whatever. Next scene.
Yeah, and the next scene was terrible. That little that's why we can't be in the sunlight. Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a glitter ball.
Oh, my God, bro.
A disco ball.
Yeah. And he unbuttons his shirt. I think we can see it on your face already. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, you don't need to do all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, on the plus side,
maybe they were hoping he had abs, and he opened his shirt that day, and they were just like, "What the hell's that? Why are you all flabby?"
I mean, on the plus side, jobs were created.
I love your silver lining to all these terrible movies. On the plus side, jobs were created.
Yes.
Yeah. Films are. I've heard it said making a film is like a miracle. This one, yeah.
But that is a huge return on investment.
Yeah, and all the sequels were like also they probably made even more money.
More money, yeah.
The effects did increase.
Yes, because I felt like the production got better because by the time we see Michael Sheen in his majorette outfit,
oh my God, that's honestly that's the only thing worth seeing in the entire franchise. I can't really say that honestly though because I've never seen anything but this one today for the first time,
and then that scene.
And that final battle on the ice field with Michael Sheen dressed up like the head of a marching band. With his God, I love that scene.
It's so great. Yeah. We literally stopped everything to watch it because it's just so bad. shit. It is so. It doesn't make any sense.
It's
and
fun.
Then, I mean, I only read the first book, but I mean, these things were such juggernauts that we heard about. Like, spoiler: Jacob hooks up with the baby.
Oh my God. That's what there's literally not a single good freaking thing about these movies. It's like every time it just gets worse. It just gets worse. Oh
you didn't believe that Edward and Bella had this passionate romance?
Oh my God. Just the way they were looking at each other. The heat was seeping through the screen.
Yeah. The lines are like ridiculously awkward and weird.
Ridiculous. Like, so you like the rain? Are you asking me about the weather? Yeah, I guess I am. What was the point of that? That's actually an almost direct quote from the film. He's asking her about, oh my God, bro. He's asking her about the rain or something. And then there's another scene where they're in his room and he's like, oh, no bed. He's like, I don't sleep ever. I watch you sleep. It fascinates me.
Red flag. Ladies, if a man ever tells you that he likes to watch you sleep and he's not sleeping.
Yeah, because he would break into her room.
Yes.
He would break into her room.
And apparently he was doing it for like a month before he actually...
No, months?
Yeah.
Plural.
Jesus Christ. And then he gets into her room and they start kissing and then he propels himself off the bed.
Oh yeah, I can't afford to lose control.
He's like, I guess I don't know how strong I am. Like, what?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
This seriously, I felt like I was like this film should have audience participation, like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Just people just laughing and going along with the lines.
Yes.
And we had
there are
this
people that are out there that have watched this enough that they could quote this movie.
Oh, probably. Yeah. And there's some terrible music in it.
Oh my God.
And we got to see some of the lyrics.
Yes,
because
we
had the
subtitles
on it. And one of the lyrics was American Mouth.
And then Big Pill.
Big Pill or something.
We're like, what is this about?
What are you saying?
What is going on? That is not music that they play at the prom.
No.
They're going to be playing Nelly. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah.
Take off all your clothes. They'll play that before they play whatever the hell that was. I mean, are kids in Washington State that so far removed?
I mean, look when they go to the beach. It was this most overcast, miserable day ever. And they're like, yay, the beach.
Yeah, they didn't go on the day where the sun actually came out.
They went on the overcast, miserable day because there's going to be waves.
Good Lord.
Terrible.
Gee, could anything have saved this film?
No.
You didn't buy the big passionate romance for the ages between Bella and...
You've asked this exact question 3 times now.
Because I can't believe that you don't believe the magic of Bella and, and Edward. What about you?
What can make it better?
What are your impressions of the film, firstly?
Oh, it's terrible. This is a terrible movie. Even if it wasn't
so bad it's good?
No. It's just bad. It's just straight up, honestly bad movie. Earnestly bad, just as earnest as everybody's performance was in delivering those terrible lines. Yeah, I mean, it felt like it went on forever before you finally reach the conflict, which occurs because vampires decide, hey, it's a thunderstorm. That's the only time we can play baseball. Because
why did they even invite her to play baseball?
I don't know.
That was a family outing.
And that was another thing. It's I'm going to introduce you to my family. And basically the entire family, their reaction is, she smells delicious.
That's so weird.
It's taken
the
everything.
Girl who was like, I want no parts of this.
Yeah.
But she got her panties in such a knot after what's her name was like, oh yeah, you're out in baseball or something. It's just a game, bro. It's not that serious.
And yeah, they're basically like, yeah, you're delicious. It's pretty much taking all our willpower not to burn you right now. And she's just like, oh, can I see your room?
Yes.
And then like the scenes where he's like, he just throws her on his back like a knapsack and just goes scampering through the trees like a wild ape.
Oh yeah, and then he calls her Spider Monkey.
Oh yeah, he calls her Spider Monkey. Real romantic there.
I don't even know where that originated from. All the scenes where he was like using his super speed or whatever were really stupid. He looked ridiculous.
Yes.
Everything looked,
Yeah.
Everything looked ridiculous in the movie, and then you get like the bad guys show up.
Well, not to cut you off, but also my favorite is when Edward growls.
Yeah.
Yes. It was just more even amazing with the subtitles.
Yeah. Vampires, that's how they deal with conflict. They just growl at each other.
Well, isn't that the entire like scene in the snow in that movie where that guy is your favorite Michael Sheen or whatever?
I think there's growling in that too.
All they're doing is growling.
There may be growling, but that is also supplemented by the fact that I guess at some point in the film series, each vampire has unique superpowers.
Yes.
So like one guy just punches the earth and it cracks open.
What is Edward's cool power?
I don't know. I don't remember. But
his sister
I think him
or whatever.
And Bella. Well, I think at this point Bella has been turned, and I think him and Bella.
No, she doesn't.
No, by the last one.
By the snow scene.
By the snow
Yeah,
scene.
they're
She's
both
her power was she could protect people from other people's powers.
She was like
or something
a
like
force
that.
field or something.
Yeah. All right.
But then at the end, don't they double team and kill Michael Sheen?
All of that was just
It was a dream.
Yeah, everything turns out to be a dream, but
dream.
I do think that's how they resolve the conflict, because they show Michael Sheen the future.
Yes.
Where
Alice does, the clairvoyant
where
or whatever.
basically they pull his head off.
And that's what happens after you pull the vampire's head off. You have to burn him, right?
Burn all the pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. This way they don't come back.
Yeah. Nah, this was. There's nothing to like in this movie at all.
There really
isn't. The performances are all terrible.
All of them.
There's many parts where I'm fully convinced that all the actors thought they were hired to do a comedic performance or be in a comedy.
Why do you think that though? Because that's not the
just
vibe.
Because the way they're acting. I mean, I know Anna Kendrick is able to play young.
Yes.
But to me,
she's not
it didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're not. There's no way Anna Kendrick's in high school in this movie. It's like everybody's maybe junior college.
Yes.
But they're pretending they're in high school, and they're like trying to act like youngsters. And it just comes off just pathetic.
Yes.
And then you have Edward, who's supposed to be like I don't know, a 100-year-old 17-year-old. And that's how they justify the obvious pedophilia thing. They just bypass it by being like, he's actually 17. He's just been 17 for a really long time.
For 100 years now at this point. Yeah.
Like his mentality hasn't changed, and
yeah,
that's ridiculous. It's just everything about it is just terrible. And all the other vampires, and just the way the vampires look.
Yeah.
They look unnaturally pasty.
Unhealthy.
They look, their hair looks like it's just, I don't know, carved onto their head like they were made out of a block of wood.
Yeah.
Just
Wooden
awful.
performances.
Yeah. People just acting in ways that people just wouldn't act.
The house was beautiful.
The vampire house?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lovely house.
Nice light, which is weird because if you're a vampire, what the fuck?
It's like, you have, the sunlight makes us look weird. So, yeah, okay, a house with nothing but glass walls.
Yes, that's exactly
Genius.
what you need.
And then you have, what's his name? The guy who eventually becomes a werewolf.
Jacob, yes.
With his ridiculous wig. Everybody had ridiculous hair.
Everybody
maybe
did
except for what's her name? Except for the main actress. Everybody had ridiculous hair.
Yeah.
Especially the vampires.
Yeah, Edward's hair was nuts.
But yeah, there's nothing
Even
to
his
like.
dad's was
There's
weird.
There's nothing to like about it. It's the writing's terrible, the acting's terrible, the film work is terrible, the lighting's terrible, the cinematography is terrible, the soundtrack is terrible.
Awful.
Yeah, what the hell was going? They really did
Young
not.
girls, what are you thinking?
I'm sure that whatever people were involved that produced this movie were probably just like, oh, this is the shits. This is just the drizzling shits. And then it made so much money, and they're just like,
oh my God,
maybe we're geniuses and we just didn't know. We made something so terrible, but people loved it. Nobody said it was terrible.
But yeah, and it is, right? I mean, it can't just be me.
Terrible.
Yes, because I agree.
I think critics said this is garbage, but $400 million. And like sometimes you'll see a film make a lot of money, but you'll watch it and it'll be like, yeah, it wasn't that good, but at least it kind of looked decent.
You know what should have made $400+ million? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
You got it right, yeah.
Yes. That movie should have made 400+.
That was a great movie.
That was a great movie.
Great dialogue, great script, great voice acting.
You know what else should have made that kind of money? Dungeons and Dragons.
Absolutely.
What is it?
Honor
Among
Thieves. Thanks, Jay.
Seriously.
That was so fun.
That was a fantastic movie.
And it looked good.
It looked amazing. They were respectful of the source material. They had endearing characters who were able to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Great back and forth between all the characters. Nobody sounded wooden. Nobody sounded like they were just saying the weirdest things possible, except for the guy who was supposed to be wooden.
Yes.
The paladin guy.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. This should have made like $30 million. This was awful, and it should have been like just laughed at constantly.
Stephanie Myers is laughing all the way to the bank.
God bless her. She struck gold with this. Talk
So
about a minimum
crazy.
wage effort pulling in some big
Bucks.
money. Yeah.
We gotta write something.
Yeah, she's proof that hey, you just
Need
get
to be
lucky.
the smartest person in the room to be successful.
Seriously, you find something. I don't know, sexy Frankenstein, sexy Sasquatch. Find your next your next supernatural being, and have some sort of teen romance strapped onto it. And hey, you may hit gold there.
Okay, let's talk about the teen drama here, because I guess this film is geared towards teenagers, but it had such universal appeal with older demographics. But as a father of daughters, how do you feel about this? I mean, first of all, obviously there's no such things as vampires, but
What if a 117-year-old went after your 17-year-old daughter?
Yeah, I would not approve. Would not approve.
But Daddy, I love him.
But Daddy, he's in high school with me.
Well, he doesn't know, to be fair, even though he's the police.
Yeah.
Charlie doesn't know.
It would have been different if Edward looked the part. Like, he was just gumming his teeth and
He got crusted blood on his face.
crust all over his face, and just like his pants are all full of used up the pens. Yeah.
But you're a vampire. You don't age.
Well, that's why I say if he looked the part of 100-year-old man, 120. I don't know when this stupid film is supposed to take place. Yeah, would not approve.
Gee, if you met a vampire, what would your gut tell you?
That depends, because is it an Edward vampire or like what's the movie called? Fright Night Vampire.
Oh, he was so good in that, wasn't he? No, an Edward vampire. Somebody who just doesn't have the strength to stay away from you. I can't even see it with a straight face.
Would any of Edward's lines
I've worked on you.
Been effective in today's high school scene?
Experience.
No.
No Riz?
He's that L Riz.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd work on anybody.
There's a lot of dumb girls.
Even
out
if
there.
he says he's the bad guy.
Well,
Yeah,
that
I know.
alone.
We know
I
you
mean,
girls love the rebels.
Yes, exactly. That alone would have turned
Yeah.
anybody's head.
I love how he's just always like walking up to her and is like, I don't want to be your friend.
Every time she turns around,
Why did he
what the
tell
hell?
her? I don't think we should be friends. Like, why? What was the point? And
Then
just stop
don't-
talking.
Then
Yeah.
don't talk to her.
Don't talk to her. Just stay on your side of the gymnasium or whatever
Yeah.
and just be quiet.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Seriously,
Shut your
if somebody
ass.
kept walking up to me and was like, I don't want to be friends with you, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Go away. Just calls you up at 9 o'clock. I don't want to be friends with you.
As he's hanging outside your window.
In the rain.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not more to say
Yeah.
other than this is trash.
This is trash.
This
and
is trash of the first
don't-
order.
don't watch
I don't. I'm.
Just give numbers.
But wait a minute. I mean, this was such a huge thing culturally. I wonder, are people that starved for romance and?
I think it was just a very popular book series, and it brought with it a huge audience.
Fan base, yeah.
Yeah, so that worked, and then plus other people were just like, you know what? I keep hearing about these books, but I'm too lazy to read them.
Right.
I'll just go see the movies, and then everybody was like, oh, it made so much money, it must be good, so I'm gonna go see it now too.
And then you have the people that probably saw it multiple times.
Right, because some people, I mean, they were fanatical about this.
Yeah. No.
Like all legions
Team
of people,
Jacob.
Team Jacob, Team Edward.
Yeah.
Losing their mind when it's finally revealed which one she ends up with, and all that other crap. Oh, and plus, didn't they give them a stupid little couple name like K Stew or something like that? Or
Did they?
I remember that. That was big back then. They'd keep giving couples
yeah.
these stupid merged names, and they were just all over their real life romance. Oh, it's just like the movie. Mm-hmm. I hope not.
Well,
Imagine the boring conversations those two have had.
Well, they then dated, and then she wound up being like outed for being with somebody else while she was dating Pattinson, which was not cool. And then they sort of got back together, but then they ultimately broke up.
Don't care. Do not care.
No,
I don't care, but a lot of people did, and a lot that helped drive people to the theater as well. All right. I'm done talking about this turd.
I mean, if this thing made $400+ million times that, and there was 3 other films in the franchise, so this is over $1 billion.
Probably.
That's wild. That is wild. All right, 1 to 10, G. What are you gonna give this film?
Turkey.
Yeah, don't insult turkeys. Turkey's good.
Turkey is delicious.
Rating, I gave it a 3.
What say you?
I would also give it a 3.
I was gonna give it a 4, but I guess a 3 is probably more accurate. All right, so 3 threes.
Mm-hmm.
What do we say? Skip? Much Paddington
Skip
too.
it.
Dude, why would anybody want to watch this?
I mean, I'm sure there's some people that
Yeah,
This
this
is their thing.
is the height of romance for some.
yeah.
Yeah, this is how men and women should behave. You know what? Maybe that's why there's all these stories now about how people just don't know how to talk to each other anymore. Because they're just like, well, I did just what Edward did. I walked up to her and I said, I don't want to be friends. And now they're calling me an incel.
I'm laughing, but I'm cringing on the inside because that's probably true.
Probably, yeah. These are the examples that younger generations have had on how to talk to women or how women and men
Are supposed to
to communicate
commingle.
with each other.
Yeah.
And it's basically just, I'm just going to keep badgering you about how deeply and important it is for me not to be your friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give you mixed signals all the time.
And do you like rain? Fascinating conversations like that.
And then the whole saving her situation.
Oh well, there's always
the
has to
cherry
be
on
the
top.
the savior moment, but even then he's still like, yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I was standing right next to you. He was gaslighting her.
There you go.
Gaslighting her. And she still stuck around.
That was his those are his techniques: gaslighting and negging.
God damn it. Ladies, this is all a red flag.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Yeah. So, again, please skip 2008's Twilight. Although, what do we know? I mean, I'm still flabbergasted by this number on IMDb. All right. Again, this is playing on Hulu if you're so inclined, from 2008, rated PG-13. There wasn't any profanity or anything. Just really bad dialogue.
Yeah.
That's the only... Yeah. Twilight, 2 hours and 2 minutes. Skip it.
Felt
and that's
like every second.
yeah. And that's it from us. And we will bid you all a
Good night.
Good night.
good